Nobody? All right. Well, I would try the ginger. If you're already pregnant, try the ginger and the GTF chromium. If you're not pregnant, prepare. Trust me, you will be so happy that you do. Probably one of the things that people worry about the most when they first get pregnant for the very first time is miscarriages. There's quite a heavy number of miscarriages, more now than any other time in history. And I think a part of that is because as a nation, our thyroid health has gone downhill. When you're pregnant, the optimum temperature is 99.5. Whenever your temperature is 99.5, the chromosomes will pair properly, so it should be almost virtually impossible to have a Down syndrome baby. And you should never have a blighted ovum. That tells you that your temperature is entirely too low. If you're not pregnant, I would take thyroid activator and try to get your thyroid working so your temperature is 98.6 before you get pregnant. If you are pregnant, I worry more about the baby than I do the mother. And what I would suggest is thyroid support. Thyroid support is probably close to taking Synthroid. So it does make your thyroid a little bit sluggish, but it tends to bring the temperatures back up that the woman doesn't lose the baby if she can get that temperature back up. Some women can't and they lose the baby anyhow because they don't take enough of it. Someone I knew, her fourth pregnancy lost the baby. The fifth pregnancy, her temperature was low, and we gave her 3 of the thyroid support, and she got her temperature up to 99, which that wasn't too bad. And it stayed 99 through the whole pregnancy because she took the 3 thyroid support the whole pregnancy. Then she had that baby, and a couple months later, she got pregnant again. And this time, when she took the 3 thyroid support, it didn't bring the temperature up where it should be. And the HCG? Whatever that hormone is, it's supposed to double. Wasn't doing that. Okay. And the doctor says, you're going to be losing this one again. So we went up to 6 of the thyroid support. Her levels went up beautifully. The baby's heart rate is fine. Everything seems to be hunky-dory. So realize that if you take 3 and your temperature is still below 99, take more to try to save that baby. Sometimes in the first 12 to 14 months, women will, although I believe your temperature is the #1 reason why women lose a pregnancy. Definitely #1 before 12 to 14 weeks. But if you do a little bit of spotting, then I would do progesterone cream. Usually you don't have to do that longer than 14 weeks because the placenta of the baby will take over and produce the progesterone that you need. After 14 weeks, if someone loses a baby, usually because there's not enough circulation getting to the baby. If the mother smokes, that's terrible because that keeps the circulation from going to the baby. I would cut that out altogether. I don't believe any woman, even if you don't have problems with miscarriage, should smoke. The chemicals and what it does to the baby is just really bad. Or you might have to add some vitamin E to maintain the pregnancy, to get the circulation to the baby. Then, of course, there's things like a knot in a cord and things like that. I don't know of any herb that can help you through that. Make sure you keep your liver as clean as possible, because if you do, that would help keep the blood thin enough that the nutrients can get to the baby. And to prevent a knot in the cord or wrapping around a cord, work on the pituitary gland. So women will take alfalfa during a pregnancy to try to keep that from happening. Because basically when a baby is born, when a baby's conceived, it starts developing head up, like this. Then towards the end of the pregnancy, it starts going down like this, so it's going to present head down with nose towards the rectum. That's proper presentation for delivery. Since the baby's in a sack of water, floating in a sack of water, and it's completely dark in there and there's no exit signs, the baby uses the energy from your pituitary gland to know how it should present itself to be born. If the pituitary gland is weak, the baby's trying to figure it out. And it's believed that that's why it tumbles around in there more so than the average child, and that's why the cord gets wrapped around the neck or there's a knot in the cord. Then if the baby falls into the birth canal, it can restrict the oxygen. So if you've ever had a cord wrapped around your baby's neck, or in general, alfalfa is good. There's 78 different minerals. So drinking a little alfalfa tea, putting a little alfalfa sprouts in your salad is well worth it during the pregnancy.
And where would you put the progesterone cream?
The very best place to put it is on the abdomen or inner thighs. You absorb it better in those areas.
Okay. Thank you.
That's it? Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Do you have anything you want to add to this?
No. That was pretty good.
Okay. Sometimes the baby still will be upside down, which is called breech, or it can be nose up instead of nose down. There's something called pulsatilla that you take 30 cc, it is a homeopathic, 3 every hour for 3 hours. And then if the baby doesn't turn, then you take a stronger one, just 3 doses, 1 a day, 3 days in a row. And if it doesn't turn, then what I would do is probably go to the doctor and see if he can turn it. This is a video where they show a doctor actually turning a baby inside. Why people are still getting C-sections, because I think it's cesarean, C-sections for breech babies, it shouldn't be really necessary, very rarely. It happens much too often.